Hello and welcome back, Malo here, and today we're playing the Diablo 3 Necromancer beta. And in the last episode, we completed a couple rifts, and in this episode, well, I said I was going to switch out my equipment and skills, and I do have enough blood runes to do that, but first I'm actually going to go and get a couple prizes from these infernal machines, because you can see I have two of them, but I don't have the other two, and I want to go ahead and get a Hellfire amulet and give that a try and see what passive skill I get out of that. But also, I just wanted to show you that I've also gotten a couple extra things dropped. So this Golden Gorget of Leoric, after earning a massacre bonus, 4 skeletons are summoned to fight by your side for 10 seconds. That could be really good for a pet build. And then I got this, the Gyro and Skull Scythe, which will require a weapon and offhand, and it allows Army of the Dead to get the effect of the unconventional warfare rune, which will be probably good when I have a pet build as well. So I'll probably be looking at those maybe even next, but for now I'm going to start by doing this, and I'm going to keep the same build because it's a build that I've gotten used to. Now with just regular bosses here, it's not going to be quite as efficient. And I'm going to have to use Command Golem, and unfortunately I can only use that every once in a great while. But I think I have high enough survivability to be able to do this on Torment 3, so we'll go ahead and give these a try. So let's start by getting some bone armor going. There we go, and we'll also sacrifice our Golem right away because no sense in not doing that, since I'm gonna have to wait to be able to use that again. There we go. Oh, that is good though that Magra summons these guys. These guys will be good for extra corpses. Oh, and I've engaged the Merciless Witch. Wait, didn't I engage her a long time ago? Ooh, I'm taking quite a bit of damage here. I should probably stay out of the butterflies and stop using my skill, my spear, as much. Alright, so I'm not actually taking a lot of damage out of the Merciless Witch or the King of the Dead, so that's a thing. But I do have my 10 bone armor going now. I do like the extra summons. Oh yeah, that's right, both of them actually have summons, so that's good. That's helpful. Let's sacrifice my Golem again, and then get more blood stuff. Yeah, I think it's really the butterflies that are causing me the biggest problems, so I just gotta stay out of the the butterflies, like I was saying. There we go. I'm actually getting relatively low on essence, so I'm gonna need to use my life drain, or whatever it's called, a little bit more effectively here, or get some more corpses going. So, one thing I wanted to mention, something that sort of a way to play this particular build that I wasn't thinking about before is it's very important and probably obvious to everybody watching, that I should basically be going after the weak mobs first, rather than... So my normal strategy in games like this is to go after the stronger mobs first, because I want to get them out of the way, and not worry too much about the trash. But in this case, going after the weak mobs first makes sense, because once I can get their corpses down, then I get extra bonuses from the corpses. So there's a lot of incentive to go after the weaker mobs first with this build, which I think is cool that it's kind of changing the way that I play it, and I have to make sure to be smart about it and not just do, fall into my old habits, basically. So I think that was the Skeleton King dead, so I think it's just Magda left. Yeah, it's a little bit more intense than I expected, to be honest, given the rifts weren't any threat at all. But I guess these bosses are supposed to be a little bit more intense, because otherwise they're not really super bosses now, are they? These ones are a little more annoying because they have more health. These ads. Soulless Heathen. Well, that's a thing. There we go. I got one Leoric's Regret. I was hoping for 2. Oh well. Just got the 1. And all the rest of the stuff dropped there. Let's go back to town and do the other one. I'm just going to go straight for it to try to hopefully get there in time to get to keep my bone armor up. There we go. And go in there. There we go. Nice. And sacrifice my golem. I guess I realized now that I didn't actually sacrifice my golem a second time in that last battle, but I had more adds than I expected, so I guess I didn't think about it. So hopefully I remember this time once it pops back up again. I should be going again after these acid slimes. Although they seem to have quite a bit of health, so maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'll just kill them as I go anyway. Yeah, they're really taking a lot of... they have a lot of health, is what I'm trying to say. These guys, though, I don't know what you call them, the guys that leap at you, those guys I can kill once I see them again. Let's get our golem sacrificed again. Step out of the muck for at least a second here. Try to focus on just one of them if you can. Okay, there's a couple more of those guys. Pretty good. Try to kill them. That way their corpses can go towards killing more guys. Really trying to just get rid of this foul desecrator first, I think. These acid slimes are not very helpful for me. They take forever to kill. I'm taking damage. I don't like it. Remember, I'm on hardcore. I do have the skill that will save me for 4 seconds, but I'll just have to be very wary of my life. I don't want to get in a really tricky situation that I can't get myself out of. Alright, the Gome guy is dead, so it's just the Vile Executioner left, which is good because he's the guy that summons the weaker guys. Although he seems to summon them infrequently, but that's still fine. He doesn't seem to be as much of a threat to me, I don't think. He can do that teleport, but he just doesn't do enough damage to, like, I don't have to worry about standing in one spot for a while with him. Where I definitely do with the Gome clone. Okay, here's a couple more Soul Devourers that are easily killed and made into corpses for more damage. I can sacrifice my golem again. There we go. And you're almost dead. And you're dead. There we go. Just got one of those vials as well. That's unfortunate. Oh well. It's not a huge deal. Alright. So, now if I go back to town and go to Covetous Shen and go here. Is it? No, here. There we go. I want a Hellfire Amulet of Intelligence. There we go, and we will craft one because that's all we can make, and hope it's good. Let's see. Blood for blood. Isn't that what I'm already using? It is. Picking up a health globe removes the health cost of the next blood spell. This effect can stack up to 3 times. So maybe actually, given how good that is for one of the sets, I believe it's the, let's see, which one is it? I'm going to have to look up again what the sets do, but there's one set, it might be Trag'Oul's Avatar, that's good for it's either Trag'Oul's Avatar or Bones of Rathma. That's good for blood skills. So I'm gonna have to look at which one that is, and that's what I'm gonna do here between cuts. So when I come back in, I will have a full new set of equipment and skills and Kanai's cube passives, I guess, and maybe even gems as well. Maybe. We'll see about the gems. But yeah, so I'll cut back in here when I have something new to show you. Alright, we're back, and I'm going to have to get used to this skill set. It's definitely not a playstyle I'm used to, but we're going to see how it works. So I'm going to show you, first of all, what the item set is, what the item bonuses are, then what my skill set is, and then what I chose for the cube, the Kanai's cube. I didn't actually change my my gems, my legendary gems, because I think they're still pretty good. Yeah, I think they're all good. So, all right. So Trag'Oul set, which if you're familiar with the Diablo series, you might recognize it as Trag'Oul's set from Diablo 2, but it's pretty different in this game. In Diablo 3, it's blood based in this game, as I've mentioned before. And okay, so here we can see that if you look at the set bonus in green down there, Blood Rush gains the effect of every rune, so I have Blood Rush, and I'll show you what that's all about here in just a second. While at full life, my healing from skills is added to my maximum life for 45 seconds, up to 100% more, so I can get quite a bit more life. My maximum life is actually down to 936,000 because I actually removed the Kanai's Cube skill that doubles the effect of my Helm rune, so I'll show you why here in just a second. And then spending 10% life, this is the weird one, the one that I'm definitely going to have to get used to. Spending 10% life grants you a stack of Blood Cascade. Each stack of Blood Cascade increases the damage of life-spending attacks by 200%, but also increases the life you lose by 10%. Using a skill to heal will consume a stack and heal up for 300% more. So basically, it makes it to where I do more damage. When I'm starting to use life, I do more damage, but then I also take more damage from those skills until I basically, until I basically use healing skills to heal myself. And I don't know how this is going to work because you can see it stacks up to, what did I say? I don't see how many it stacks up to too, but I think it stacks up to like a lot of does it not say there? Yeah, I guess it doesn't say, but when I was reading it on the forum, it looked like it stacked up to like 20 times or more, which means that I could be doing 200% extra damage to myself, which seems wrong. So I don't know how that's going to work exactly. Yeah, so that's going to be a thing, but I do still have the damage reduction increased by 0.89% for every 1% life I'm missing, which is going to be helpful. I gained the Blood for Blood passive. Oh yeah, I actually didn't check the passives, so I'll check those here in just a second, because I definitely wanted to get better passives. So let me actually look at those too. So I'm not relying on health globes anymore. Let's see. I don't have minions. This might be good. I already have Blood for Blood. Actually, I don't need Blood for Blood anymore because I have that as a passive. This one might be good here. After cumulatively losing 100% of my maximum life, all ability cooldowns are reduced by 20%. So that could be good, except I don't know what abilities I have that have a cooldown. Simulacrum. Oh, that could be good then. My Blood Rush, because of its runes, well, or maybe not because of its runes, doesn't have a cooldown, although I do have, it does take a second for it to charge up to 2 uses. And I'll show you what Blood Rush does here in a minute. But for now, I will accept Blood as Power. That's definitely going to be useful. I think Draw Life is going to be useful, even if I don't have, if it's just a boss, it'll be at least 10% extra life regeneration, which is nice. Definitely keeping Final Service, and I'll probably keep Serration for the extra damage on Bone Spear, which will still actually be my main damage dealer, interestingly. But I don't think there's anything else that I want. I could get all curses instead of just the one. I have Leech as my my curse. I could get all curses if I wanted to choose it as a Devour rune, but I think I would rather not do that. But if I did that, then... Well, it wouldn't really matter if I did all curses. Just one curse would be fine. I get a 1% bonus damage bonus for each enemy afflicted by one of my curses, but I don't need that. My curses cost 50% less essence and last forever. That might be good, because my curse is Leech, which curse the target area. Cursed enemies have a chance to heal the attacker when they are struck for 1% of their total health. And also, each cursed enemy increases my life regen by 751 per second. So if I just ran around cursing all the enemies, but I think 30 seconds is really long enough. I don't think I'm going to need anything longer than that. So I'm going to stick with Serration for the extra damage. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to go with my passives. With my primary skill, I'm sticking with Siphoned Blood for the healing, because as you saw with those extra stacks on my set, I can get bonuses from healing. So I also chose the extra essence gain because I don't have an easier... I mean, Devour gives me essence, but I'm not going to be devouring automatically anymore. So, yeah, Siphoned Blood is going to be useful for getting essence as well. Bone Spear for the damage still, obviously, with the Blood Spear. And because it's a life user, then it's going to get all the bonuses as well. Blood Rush actually doesn't cost any health. I think this might be a bug that it says cooldown 0 seconds, cost 5% health. It's actually, it should be swapped. There is still a cooldown, but it doesn't cost any health, and that's because I have the effect of every rune, which includes this rune and this rune, which is kind of interesting because this doubles the health cost and provides an additional charge, which is why I have 2 charges. But this removes the health cost, so the health cost is actually 0. So that's interesting, I think. This is really useful, the leaves a corpse at your original location when used. So that'll be really useful for bosses when I need to create corpses. I can also heal for 2% of my maximum health by running through enemies, and increases my armor for 2 seconds as well. So you can see I leave a corpse when I use it, and then I can use that corpse with Devour. And so yeah, that's kind of cool. And then I also chose Simulacrum, and there are a few good runes with Simulacrum. Actually, this might be the one that gives me the all curses, but I chose if you would die with Simulacrum active, instead the Simulacrum is destroyed and you are fully healed. It's just another protection from death since I'm on hardcore. So you can see if I cast Simulacrum, it costs a lot of life. Let's go ahead and heal some of that with this, like that. And then I can cast Blood Spear, and you can see it casts 2 Blood Spears, and they cross wherever I sort of aim. So that's kind of cool. And then you can see I have my Blood Cascade. Damage and cost increased for life spending abilities, and it also increases my life regen by quite a bit. So yeah. So that's sort of the way that I'm going to go ahead and do this, but it's going to take me a while to get used to the skills. So yeah, I'll show you now what I chose for Kanai's Cube. I have heal 4% of my missing life when I kill an undead enemy, which is only going to be useful, when I kill undead enemies, obviously. Gain 10,000 life regeneration per second each second I stand still, so I'll want to stand still as much as possible for that one. And I don't need to be running around as much anyway because my Devour doesn't have the requirement that I be nearby anymore. And then Bolcatlos' Wedding Band seemed apropos. I drain life from enemies around me. Another good one for this would have been, let's see if I can find it. Rogar's Huge Stone increased my life per second by up to 100% based on my missing life. So it was a tough between those two for me, but I ended up choosing Bolcatlos' Wedding Band. So I'm still on Torment 3, and I haven't tried this out yet. So hopefully I'm not getting myself into something that's going to kill me, but I have a couple cheat deaths, so hopefully those will be good enough for me. So let's go ahead and just try this out. So if I run over here, and then do this, and then Devour, alright, this is going to take some getting used to for sure. There we go. So, yeah, so I don't really know how to best utilize these skills just yet, so, yeah. So, be patient with me, I guess is what I'm saying. Oh, I should be cursing these guys too. There we go. Let's actually get a simulacrum out. Makes sense, right? And then heal up. Curse these guys again. Oh, no, devour, and then curse these guys again. There we go. And devour. And there we go. So, I'm not feeling too threatened right now. I'm not doing as much damage as I'd like, but maybe that's just because I'm not used to the skill set. It probably is because I'm not used to the skill set. So, like I said, you're going to have some patience with me. Jeez, that is doing quite a bit of damage. 14, 12 million. That's not that bad for Torment 3. Alright, so if I run through... so when I go through enemies, I also gain life that way. So actually, maybe I should be using that as another method to gain life. The thing is, I just have so many skills that it's like, what's the best use of them? Go. And devour. It doesn't seem too slow as long as I continue using skills how I am now. I think. I think it's slower than my previous build, but again, that's partially because I'm not used to this build, and partially probably because I don't have quite the optimized equipment for it just yet. Especially things like my weapon and offhand, which I didn't change. Although they may, I think when I check them, they're still reasonably good for this build too. So let's continue on. I think this is going to be another long episode, but I do want to get another rift in. Get that lower thing out of the way. Get a simulacrum out, because why not? Yeah, I do spend a lot of life on these skills, but I also gain a lot of life back from all of the other skills and from the bonuses, so it is sort of a good trade-off. I mean, I kind of like that. It's sort of like a no pain, no gain type thing. Sort of like sacrificial damage, almost, if that makes sense. I think there's another. I don't remember who it is, but I think there's another class. It's either the monk or the crusader. I forget which one. That has a similar sort of mechanic that you can use, where you sort of spend life to do more damage. But I'm not feeling too threatened just yet. I do feel like it's still relatively slow, though, in terms of the damage I'm dealing. Let's get some more life from these guys. There we go. Yeah, I think maybe one of the things about this particular playstyle, this particular skill set, is it's more like the kind of skill set I was talking about earlier that I don't like as much, where a lot of the damage I do in big bursts against like one enemy at a time. So yeah, maybe that's why I feel like it's slow. Maybe against bosses it's going to be better, but against just regular trash enemies it's worse. That could be very well be what sort of the way to think about this skill set. Let's get a simulacrum out and let's curse these guys too to get some life back. Oh, and there's two bosses here. Maybe let's run away a little bit and curse these guys too. There we go. That's feeling a little better. Got a little bit hairy there, but that's partially because I wasn't using my skills properly. There we go. Yeah, see, I do feel like I'm doing a lot of damage to the bosses, so that's good. So maybe this kind of build is better for, like, single enemies or powerful enemies, but worse for the kind of small packs, or I mean, big packs of small enemies. some more corpses, and move on. This might be my longest episode yet because of how slow I am running this particular rift. And on to the next one. Done. On to the next one. References! Alright, let's go ahead and kill these guys now. And do that. Just funsies. Oh, apparently there's a skeletal archer down here. Well, let's go ahead and get out a simulacrum. See, I'm not paying any attention to how many stacks of this extra damage, extra health cost stuff, but I think maybe, I mean, at first I was scared that maybe I would start getting, building it up too much, but I think it's sort of self-limiting because as you start noticing your life going down, you want to heal, so when you start healing, then you reduce the number of stacks. So it sort of allows you to almost self-balance without even paying attention to the actual number of stacks that you have. You sort of optimize it on your own as you go, which might actually be a pretty cool thing. Oh, he moved, of course, right when I was trying to curse him. Let's try cursing him again. There we go. Let's run through him like so. Let's get out another simulacrum. There we go. Every time I take 100%, another good thing about this this particular build is every time I take 100% of my health as damage, which I do quite often with all the casting of these skills, then I do another Blood Nova, which does a lot more damage. So that's cool. Let's curse these guys. Keep getting knocked back, which is just mildly annoying. Again, it does feel pretty slow in terms of the rate at which I'm actually getting through this rift, though. So, I don't know that I'm going to consider it really my favorite build, but let's go ahead and get some healing in. And I'm sure I missed... Let's see. Nope, I didn't miss anything. Okay. Nice Blood Nova, or Blood Explosion. I'm going to be silent sometimes, obviously, just because I have nothing to say, but hopefully you're enjoying the footage at least. So like that. And by that I mean devour some more corpses. I'm not having any real essence problems, so maybe I could actually change my my passive for is it Siphon Blood? Yeah, maybe I could change my passive for Siphon Blood, because I do also have the Devour, which I apparently use frequently enough to not worry too much about it. I need to remember to use a healing skill pretty much right after using Simulacrum. Yeah, just not doing that much damage is the problem. Again, it's very possible that it's because I'm doing it wrong, but maybe I should be casting more bone spears more frequently. But I don't know. Let's just get a few bone spears out. There we go. That killed him. Well, I mean, I feel like you've probably seen enough at this point. Like, I don't need to kill the Rift Guardian for you. I mean, I will kill the Rift Guardian on my own, but this episode's going too long at this point, and there's not really a point to me continuing recording. So I'm going to go ahead and call this a day for this episode. Obviously, I'm not having any real issues with this build, this particular skill set, except that it's relatively slow. So I don't want to bore you, and you've seen sort of enough footage of this particular set of skills. So I'm gonna, go ahead and call it a day for now, and say join me next time, and I'll probably have another set next time. So in the meantime, thanks for watching, and have a great day.